Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rebel Creatives Podcast. I'm your host, Delano, and I help creative entrepreneurs increase their revenue using the Rebel Growth System. All right, so the theme for this month is retention and referrals, right? Which is the second growth pillar for us that we focus at Rebel Creatives. All right, so in the last episode, I kind of introduced the importance of retention and referrals. And I just wanted to go over what you need in your business to facilitate for effective referrals and retention marketing. All right. So let's dive right into that. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you have a way in which you're collecting names and numbers. All right. You need to be collecting names and numbers. And I like to call this a zero party data. All right. We have a knack of relying on third parties to get data, to get in front of people, right? And with everything changing now, as business owners, we need to take up that responsibility of building and maintaining our business's number one asset, right? Business asset, which is the data of our best customers, all right? Because it's through data we're able to improve, it's through data that we're able to serve better, right? And I like to say the more you know, the better you serve. All right. So I know a lot of businesses might look at it as a way of, collecting and stalking people or, you know, just hoarding their information and stuff like that, private information, as they would say. But remember, what we're doing is we're simply asking, right, for the data that someone is willing to share. And then we are using that data not to do anything funny, but to make sure that we are giving better service. So you're asking for relevant information that you can use to improve your services. All right. So that's the first thing you need to be doing. All right. And how do you do this? Right. First, you want to make sure that you have a high converting landing page that is asking for those names and their numbers. All right. It could be a landing page for a lead magnet, like a giveaway, or a PDF report that you're doing or sharing, or anything like that. But you want to give something of value to your prospects and to your customers that will let them want to share that data. Now, when you're collecting that data, what kind of data should you be even collecting, right? If it's for the very first time, we like to keep the barrier to entry very low. Okay, so you just ask for two data points: their name and their phone number, or their name and their email address. After that, you can now start asking for more information through a survey, right? For example, you can ask for their birthday so that whenever it's their birthday, you can give them some reward or some gift, right? You can ask for their anniversary. If it is something that they want to celebrate, you can ask for that so you can have the power to serve your customers when it's their anniversary and they're celebrating that. All right. If you want to ask what's their favorite color, right, you might want to be giving special promotional materials. You want to do it in their favorite color. All right. But I'm just using these examples to just show how you can ask certain information so that while you're building that database, you have these zero party data so you can use it in your marketing, you can use it in serving your people. And as again, just reiterating, the more you know, the better you can serve. All right. So next thing you need is to make sure that you're engaging with your customers. You don't just collect their information and their contact details, but you're actually getting in touch with them. You're actually building a relationship with them. All right. And you want to do this regularly. All right. And now your aim here is not to spam and send a bunch of unrelated messages and stuff like that, right? You want to be serving them with value each and every time that you're reaching out. And you want it to be genuine, you want it to be conversational, and you want it to, you know, be in a way where they are looking forward to your messages, right? So it's very important that you engage with your list every ever so often, right? What we recommend when you're doing SMS is like once a week, right? And make sure that your messages are valuable. We at Rebel Creatives, we have a name that we call those messages. We call them business generating messages, right? Because it not only helps you to build that relationship, but it keeps you top of mind and makes it that whenever your customers are ready to participate in your services and get your benefit that you're offering, you are going to be top of mind. All right, so that's one. If we're doing emails, we do that also once a week, or you can do it once every 2 weeks. It depends on your business and what you're doing and stuff like that. But you want to make sure that your messages are intentional and they're engaging. All right, and when I say engaging, I mean people can reply to those emails. You're asking questions. You are trying to build out your zero party data even more, just so you can better serve and really have that connection and get to really know your customers. All right. Now, when you're engaging with your customers, the third thing you want to do, right? After you're engaging, you're keeping your list or your number one asset, right? You want to keep that very active and you want to actually build it. But then how do you leverage it? All right. The third thing is leveraging that list. So, how you do that is by making sure that you're giving timely and effective offers. All right. You want to make sure that when you're reaching out, you're saying, hey, we're having this amazing offer here and we would love you to participate and take advantage of it, right? And we typically do something like that like once a month, right? Once a month. And otherwise we're just inviting, right? You don't want to be constantly selling, right? Because it's also about building a relationship and being top of mind. You want to do it in a timely way and you want to do it in an effective way. And that's how you start now to leverage that list and then better serve them. All right. Because you get to know your prospects, you know their needs, you know what it is that they want. So now you're delivering that in a timely fashion and in an effective way that will get them to say yes to you. All right. Now, when you do all of this together, it compounds, right? And the compound effect is this: you start having people have you at the top of their minds, right? Because they're always hearing from you and they're always hearing positive things, they're always engaging, stuff like that. So whenever they go anywhere and they feel like, hey, I need this service, I need this experience, your business is going to be top of mind, right? And why this is important and why you should be doing this is because we are in a time where everything is vying for people's attention. There was a time you would be just competing with your other businesses. So, like if you're a restaurant, you're just competing with the other restaurants serving the same food as you, right? If you're in a seafood restaurant, you're competing with all the seafood restaurants in your local area, right? And now we reach a point where you're not only competing with your competitors, you're also competing with the other businesses around. You're competing with your customers' pets that's vying for their attention, their family, their spouse, their children, their responsibilities. All of those things are on their minds, right? It's something that they have to think about. It's something that they have to do, right? They have a movie date. They have certain rituals that they do. So what you're doing when you do all of this right is you disrupt the habit, right? Their habit, and let them want to put you further up on top of the list. All right. And when I say disrupt, it might sound like, ooh, we're tweaking, we're changing everything what they're doing. But this is how you should look at it also. It's, are you giving value, right? Are you truly helping your customers? When they exchange their money with you and you provide your service to them, is it adding value to their lives? Now, if it is, if it's making their life better, for example, you're serving healthier food, you're giving them a better experience relieving stress, right? You're helping them to sit down and relax and enjoy time with family. For example, if you're in a restaurant, if you're providing all of that value, would you feel guilty, right? Making sure that whenever this person wants those experiences, you are top of mind, right? If you feel guilty offering your service, or selling it what it is you do, then something is wrong right there. You need to really assess what it is you're doing. Maybe there's room for improvement, and you should seriously consider improving what it is you're doing to make sure that you feel good when a person comes to you and decide that, hey, I want to buy your service, I want to get your food, I want you guys to massage me, because you know that the value you're giving in exchange for that money is worth it, and you're adding value to their lives. Okay, so these are the three things that is very important, and once you do all of these things, you'll start doing retention and referrals more effective. All right, now let me just squeeze in, right? All of this is here is based on retention, but for referrals it's the same exact thing, right? You want to make sure that, one, you're collecting data, right? You're collecting the information, and then you want to make sure that you're engaging with your customers. And then the third part, instead of leveraging and doing those engaging, you leverage, yes, but you ask for referrals, right? And nothing is wrong, again, with asking people to say, hey, do you know anyone else that would love to experience what it is you experienced with us, right? Again, it boils down, if you feel guilty asking, you need to look at the service that you're offering and the value that you're giving, and maybe improve it, or do something, because that guilt is coming from you feeling that what you're doing isn't valuable enough, isn't sufficient, isn't enough, isn't giving enough value, or making a person's life better, right? It's like the worth. If you strongly believe, you wouldn't have any problem doing retention, doing referrals, and collecting that data, right? Because your job and your aim is to add value to people's lives. I think people should only feel guilty if they know if they know that their service isn't up to par, and stuff like that, and they're like, well, I'm collecting people's name and whatever to send them messages and try to sell my offer. No, if your offer is good, it's not you selling it, right? If your offer is good and it's giving value, it's not you selling it, it's you giving people the opportunity to experience and take advantage of the offer that you give, so that they can have a better quality life. All right. And no one should ever feel guilty about doing good, right? Doing good in the world and helping people. So that's it for this episode. I hope this episode was impactful. It helped to clear certain things in one's mind as a business owner and stuff like that. So whenever, just to recap, remember, for retention and referrals, you just need to do three things and do these things effectively, right? You need to always be collecting data on your best customers. The more you know, the better you're going to be able to serve them. Once you start collecting that data, it's your responsibility to keep the engagement and build that connection with them. It's not all about just selling, selling, selling. You want to be creative and you want to be building genuine connections between your customers and your company, right? So you want to engage and make sure your list is active. And then you want to offer great value to your list and you want to leverage your list and by doing that, all right? So give immense value, do it regularly, do it frequently. Don't be ashamed to do it, all right? And ask for referrals. If it's not retention, that's your thing. If referrals is what you need, ask. Do not be afraid to ask for what you want from your best customers. Because if you've done step 1 and 2 right, they'll gladly answer your request. All right. So, again, thank you so much for making it to this episode. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week and see you in the next one. Delano signing out.